In this video, the learner will determine the volume of prisms and cylinders. First, let's talk about what volume is. Volume is the capacity of a polyhedron. So, according to this little animation right here, it's how much we can fill up and put inside that object. Notice the little hedgehog fitting inside that cup. So volume is how much I can put inside that figure. So if we're looking at trying to determine the volume of a prism, so kind of notice this animation here. As we start with that base, we can see a 4 by 3 that gives us 12 cubic units. Then if we have 3 layers of those, we'll have 4 by 3 by 3 layers. That gives us a total of 36 cubic units because we have 3 dimensions, 1, 2, and 3. So the volume of one layer is 12. But notice that's the area of that rectangle of a 4 by 3. So we're taking the area of that base and then multiplying that by how many stacks are there. Notice that's the height of our prism. So we have a formula for volume of B times H. Remember, big B is the area of the base and H is going to be the height of the prism. Remember, height of a prism is the length of a lateral edge. So we're going to find the volume of this rectangular prism. We actually found the lateral area and surface area in our last video. So in order to find volume, we need to find the area of that base and then multiply that by our height. So the area of the base is going to be the area of that rectangle, which is going to be 48. That lateral edge of 2 is the height. Therefore, our volume is 48 times 2, which is 96 cubic units. The reason we have cubic units is because we're multiplying 3 dimensions. We have length, width, and height. Next, we want to find the volume of the cube. We're using that shaded base. So we have a length of 5. That's going to be a square, so all of our lengths are 5, and the height of the prism will also be 5. So the area of that shaded base is 5 times 5, which is 25. And we have a height of the prism of 5. So our volume is 25 times 5, which is 125 cubic units. In this example, we're going to find the volume of the triangular prism. In order to find that volume, we have to find big B, which is the area of the base. The base of this is the triangle. So we have to find the area of that triangle. So we're going to find B times H divided by 2 for this triangle. Now this little b here is the base of the triangle, which is 12. And when we make that height, it cuts it into 2 pieces of 6 and 6. We don't know the height yet, but we do know the hypotenuse of this right triangle here is 10. We want to find that dotted line that represents the height of that triangle. So we can use Pythagorean theorem to have 6 squared plus x squared equals 10 squared. Once we solve Pythagorean theorem, we'll find that the height is 8. So the area of the triangle is 12 times 8 divided by 2. So 12 times 8 is 96. 96 divided by 2 is 48. The height of the prism, this h here, is that lateral edge with length of 4. So the volume will be 48 times 4, which is 192 cubic units. Next, we're going to find the volume of the regular hexagonal prism. We need to find big B and multiply it times the height. So we have this hexagon, that's the base of our prism. So we have to find the area of that hexagon. We find the area of a regular polygon by doing the formula 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So I have to find the apothem, and I have to find the perimeter of that hexagon. We're given that one side is 6, so the perimeter of that hexagon will be 36. I need to find the apothem using that 30, 60, 90 with the apothem, radius, and half of the side, which is 3. The 3 is our 30, so across from the 60 will be 3 root 3. And the 3 root 3 is our apothem's measure. Now that I have the apothem and the perimeter, area of big B is 3 root 3 times 36 divided by 2, which gives us 54 root 3 for the area of our base. The height of the prism is that lateral edge, the length between the two bases, which will be 12. To find volume, I now plug in big B and H to the formula and have 54 root 3 times 12, which is 648 root 3 cubic units. To find the volume of this trapezoidal prism, we need to find big B and H. Big B will be the area of the base, which is this trapezoid. We find the area of a trapezoid by adding the two bases, dividing by 2, and multiplying by the height. So adding the two bases of the trapezoid is 12 and 6, multiplying by the height of the base, which is 4, and divide by 2. So 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 times 4 is 72. 72 divided by 2 is 36. The lateral edge, or the height of this prism, is the length between the two bases, which is 10. So the volume is 36 times 10, which is 360 cubic units. Next, let's remind ourselves of what a cylinder looks like. We have the radius of our base, which are the two circles. And the height of that cylinder is the length between the center of those two circles, or the length between the two bases. So I still need to find the area of my base and multiply it times the height. Find how much is going to fill up the bottom, and then how much is going to fill up to the top. Big B will be the area of the base. The base is a circle, so we find the area of the circle by pi times r squared. R is 3. 3 squared is 9, so the area of our base is 9 pi. The height of the cylinder is the length between the two bases, which will be 6. So the volume will be 9 pi times 6, which will be 54 pi cubic units. This last example I want you guys to try. We're going to find the volume of this triangular prism. You have to find the area of the base and the height of the prism, and then plug it in to find volume.